Good morning, sixth grade, and welcome to my cooking channel. I hope you're doing well. This is a quick video to show you how to make granola. The recipe that I gave you online for this week is the same one we make in class, and it's microwave granola, which is really fast and easy. However, you're at home and you have all the time in the world. So if you want to choose a different recipe, like a granola that you make in an oven, or a fun breakfast item, feel free to choose any different recipe that you want. When you hand in your assignment each week, it's for you to get cooking and measuring and working in the kitchen. So whatever you choose is going to be fine. I just hope that you have fun and get to spend some time with family working and cooking in the kitchen. So I have all my stuff laid out, okay? And when we get all our ingredients organized, this is called mise en place, which means everything in its place. Before I really start cooking, I want to make sure I have everything that I need to complete the recipe. So I have a glass bowl here. Since we're working in the microwave, glass is great, but any microwave safe bowl, as long as it's big enough, should work. I have my butter and a butter knife. I have a wooden spoon, a rubber scraper, my liquid measuring cup, dry measuring cups, measuring spoons. I also have all my ingredients. I have old-fashioned oats. Old-fashioned oats do work better. There's like the other oats in the store that you'll find are called quick oats, and quick oats are just that. They cook really fast, but they're also much smaller little pieces of oatmeal. So you'll get a much better granola with old-fashioned oats if you have that. I also have vanilla, some pancake syrup. You can use maple syrup. Same for the butter. You can use dairy-free butter if you have it. And some cinnamon. Okay? Now, the toppings that I picked for mine are raisins, nuts, and coconut, but I'm not going to put these in until after it's cooked. If we put them in before it's cooked, then it will burn. Okay, first step, I'm going to add my oatmeal to the bowl. And oatmeal is a dry ingredient, so I want to find my 1 cup dry measuring cup. And this is a little bit different than flour. Remember on your worksheet, we were really concerned about like not dipping into the flour, because if you dip into flour, it gets squished down. But if you dip into oatmeal, it will not compact down. So you're going to get about a cup, mine's a little bit more, and I'm just going to use the back of my knife just to push the extras off and smooth it out. So that's 1. And this one's 2. See if I think I should have just enough. There we go. Now for this makes a pretty good amount of granola. But again, you can, we'll put that in and put the extra in the can. You can make as much as you want. You can double it. You can even half it if you just want to make it for yourself. But be careful on the microwave time because you'll probably have to reduce that. Okay, so that is my 2 cups of oatmeal. Now I'm going to add my cinnamon, which is the next dry ingredient. And the recipe calls for 1 teaspoon, but I will tell you, I love cinnamon, and I think in granola you can never have too much. So if you add a little extra like I'm gonna do, that's fine. So I leveled off my 1 teaspoon, okay? And I'm just gonna sprinkle it over, and because I like extra, I'm gonna actually add 2 teaspoons. When you're cooking, it's okay sometimes to improvise, okay? Now just make sure you are using the right spoon. Sometimes, especially if you're like making cupcakes or a cake, you have to be real careful with that teaspoon and tablespoon, because the tablespoon is 3 times the teaspoon. So if we were adding something like salt and we accidentally added a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon, it would be way, way too much. All right, so there's our cinnamon. And now I'm gonna add our vanilla. And it's just a teaspoon, and I'm gonna measure it real careful. Now, since I'm at home, I'm doing something you probably shouldn't do, which is measure over the bowl, okay? To be safe, you could probably measure over a different measuring cup or a paper towel. I'm gonna live on the edge and measure my vanilla right over the bowl. It's possible maybe a few extra drops could get in. So there's my teaspoon of vanilla. Gonna add that, okay. And gonna wait on the syrup. The next thing I'm gonna do is the butter. For the butter, let's put this here for you. Butter is marked right on the stick for how many tablespoons. So there's 8 tablespoons in a stick of butter, and you need 2 tablespoons for this recipe. So what you'll do is cut your butter at the 2 tablespoon mark and save this for a different recipe. And then you can just unwrap it and chop it up. We do want to chop up the butter into small pieces because if you just put this big chunk in there, it's going to take a long time for it to actually melt and get to all of the granola. And we want it to be kind of spread out as soon as we start to cook. So just use your butter knife, and it's not an exact science, okay? You just want to keep cutting so you have a good amount of little pieces. Now, if you're allergic to milk, you could use dairy-free butter, or you could use a little vegetable oil, or coconut oil are all alternatives that you could try. Okay, so I'm gonna scoop this butter in here. Try to get all of it, because 2 tablespoons is not very much butter, so you do want to try to get everything. Okay. And then last but not least, the syrup. This is just regular pancake syrup, and you need a 1/2 cup. And you'll remember in your homework that you had on measuring that you will need to get down to eye level. So first I usually find the 1/2 cup mark right on my measuring cup, and then I get pouring to where I think it's close. And once I think we're almost there, I get down at eye level to check it. This helps you make sure that it's actually a 1/2 cup. Now, in school, sometimes people try to sneak in a whole bunch of extra syrup. It never works out, okay? The syrup helps to make the granola sweet, and it also adds to the crunch when it's cooked. But if you add too much, it adds too much liquid, which makes your granola really mushy. So if you end up with mushy granola, it might be too much syrup. Okay, so here's my syrup, and I'm just gonna use a rubber scraper to try to get most of it out of the measuring cup. And then use the edge to kind of wipe that so it doesn't drip. And now I just stir it up. So I am not going to show the cooking in this video. I can show it in another quick video. But what you want to do is mix everything up. I keep losing a little on the counter here, so that it's all coated, okay? And then you're going to need a microwave, oven mitts, and this rubber scraper or wooden spoon. That's up to you, okay? Now, if you put this in the microwave for 6 minutes and just let it go, it's definitely gonna burn on the bottom, okay? So it's important that at each minute you stop your microwave and give it a stir, a good stir, not just touching the top, but all the way down, turning it over and getting to every bit of the granola. It doesn't take that long. You just wanna make sure it's mixed so it doesn't burn on the bottom. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna microwave this for 6 minutes. And at each minute, at minute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to stop and give it a stir, okay? See this butter plate? I like to use that to hold my stirring tools when I go to cook in the microwave. Okay, so I'll make a second video on cooking it and adding the toppings. Well, that might be a third video, we'll see. And I wish you all the best in your cooking adventures this week.